Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. This is Prajakta Shaw and I'm going to cover chapter 3 meeting life challenges of psychology class 12. So basically this chapter focuses on stress, and the first subtopic of this chapter is nature, types and sources of stress. So in this subtopic we are going to focus on what stress is all about and what are the two types of stress. First is eustress, and later on eustress is converted into distress, and what is basically the difference between eustress and distress. So before that we are going to we going to read a proper introduction of this chapter. So if I talk about Monday morning, so Monday morning can be stress for many, but that stress will be temporary because we are alert, we are aware of the danger, we are vigilant. If we are crossing a road, suppose we are crossing a road and we are adult enough, we are intelligent enough to cross the road, then that means that stress will be temporary for us because we are aware of the danger, we are alert, we know that we should not cross the road while talking to somebody else, or while wearing headphones. So it is also saying that all challenges, problems and difficult circumstances put us to stress. This is very much obvious. If any situation which is obstacle for us, which is difficult for us, it gives us stress. And if the stress is handled properly, if the stress is manageable, or I can say controllable, then it increases the probability of one's survival. So now stress is being compared with electricity. Electricity gives us energy. Stress also gives us energy, and it also improves humans' performance. If I talk about electric current, if electric current is too high, then it damages the appliances and fuse bulbs. Same with the stress. If stress is too high, it will also produce some unpleasant effects, unwanted effects will happen, and it will deteriorate our performance level. The quality of the performance will decrease, which can lead to low motivation, and performance will be less efficiently. Now we should also know that not all stresses are bad, not all stresses are destructive. So if I talk about eustress is a stress which does not harm us, which is good for us. So eustress is a term used to describe the level of the stress that is good for you. Good for you means good for us, is one of the person's best aspect for achieving peak performance and managing minor crisis. If I give an example of examination, if we, the students, will not have the fear of examination, will not be stress of our examination, then most of the students will not give 100%. Most of the students will take exams lightly. So some stresses are good for us and has no harm on our life, on our health. Now later on, if use stress is prolonged, then it turns into distress. Now distress is harmful, it harms our health. That health can be mental. So if question is asked to write something about distress, you have to write this line: it is this latter manifestation of stress that causes our bodies wear and tear. Now the most important thing, what is stress? So stress is basically the pattern of response an organism makes to the stimulus event that disturbs the equilibrium. Equilibrium is basically the balance of our life. It disturbs equilibrium because it disturbs, that means it disturbs our balance. We do have a proper planning of a day, we do have a proper routine. So if we are stressed, so our routine, our proper planning will be disturbed. It's not that it will happen smoothly. The behavior pattern will change as well, right? The way we react will change as well, and it will exceed a person's ability to cope. the person can also, cope from that. It's not that the person will affect them, the performance will decrease, the level of the performance will deteriorate day by day. It's not that, the person can cope from it as well. Now, nature of stress. This was all about that introduction part. Now we are going to focus on the nature of stress. Now, nature of stress, inside that we are going to know where from stress is derived and what is basically the meaning of stress. Now basically the word stress has an origin in its Latin word. Basically it means a stress word has derived from the Latin word strictus. Strictus means tight or narrow, and another term which is used as stinger, which also means, the root word reflects on the internal feelings of tightness. So basically the keyword here is tightness. Now, stress is often explained in terms of characteristics of environment that are that disturbs to an individual, that is disruptive to the individual. So basically the environment which disturbs a human being, which disturbs an individual, is what, you know uh, stress focuses on. The characteristics of stress is basically environment. So now, the another important term, the very important term, which can come as objective or subjective, not more than 2 marks, or as stressors. So stressors are the events that cause are the events that cause our body to give the stress response. So it is basically the events through which, like, we get stress. So if I am stressed because of examination, then stressor will be my examination. I hope you are understanding it. What stressors are? Stressors are basically the events through which we are stressed. So this is the proper definition of stressors, that stressors are events that cause our body to give stress response, and then we give response, right? That stressors can be a bad relationship can be with anyone. If you don't have a good relationship with your parents or with your friends, then it can lead to stress. It can be because of crowding. If you're an introvert and then you're going to a place which is, very much crowded, then it can be one of the reason of stress. Noise. Exams are around the corner, and in your apartment a marriage is held, and that is creating a lot of noise and is disturbing you to complete your work or to learn something. It's basically disturbing you. That it can also be stress. So anything in your daily life, it's related to office, it's related to, school, it doesn't matter, is what stressors means. Okay. Now another important term is strain. What strain is? The way we react, to the external stressors. तो stressors जो होता है और उसको हम लोग react करते हैं, the response which we give to the external stressors, they are basically called strain. So this was all about stressors and strain. Now we are going to know what Hans Selye said. Hans Selye was the father of modern stress research. So this is another a very important line. This can also come for objective, that who was Hans Selye, or who was the father of modern stress research. So Hans Selye was the father of modern stress research. So he said, or he defined stress as the non-specific response of body to any demand. So basically he defines stress as non-specific response of the body. Okay. Now later on, many researchers, they do not agreed with the definition. They felt like the stress response is not really as general and non-specific. So they were not agreeing with the statement, or with whatever Hans Selye was he has suggested. This we also have to keep in mind, that there were people who didn't agree with the statement. And now I would recommend you all to read this part. There's nothing to explain, everything is given uh in nicely, like there is nothing to explain. Now we are going to focus on a very important part, which is Lazarus and his colleague. Like Lazarus and his colleague gave a cognitive theory of stress. So what it was all about? So cognitive theory of stress was given by Lazarus and his colleague. So he said that there are two types of appraisals. What are those types of appraisals? Primary appraisals and secondary appraisals. Now, what are primary appraisal? A primary appraiser basically is a perception of new and changing environment. Okay, so primary appraisal is something which gives a perception of new and changing environment. So it can be positive, it can be neutral, it can be negative as well. Now negative event can be like has three terms in it. If primary appraisals are asked, then you have to mention everything, okay, whatever I'm saying it. So what is primary appraisal? We know that, and we also know that they are positive, they are neutral, they are negative. Now negative events are appraised for their possible harm, threat and challenge. Now what is harm? Harm is like, if I'm asked to explain in proper, like in easier way or in simpler language, then I would say damage is already done by the event. Okay, damage is already done by the event, then that comes under harm. Now threat is like, it includes possible future damage. Now in thread, for the damage has not yet happened, it can damage our future. Now challenge is basically includes potential to overcome. So we have the potential to overcome a stressful event, that what challenge indicates. Now we are going to focus on what secondary appraisal is all about. Secondary appraisal assesses coping abilities and resources. So these are basically subjective. Okay, you can write the points. These secondary appraisal assesses coping abilities and resources, and they are subjective in nature, and they depends on past experiences. Past experiences is basically what? Past experiences are will be the one factor. So appraisal are subjective, we know that, and it depends on many factors. But in this book, in this part, they have only mentioned two. They have only mentioned two factors. First factor is past experience, and the second factor is controllable. So past experience is basically, you are dealing such a stressful condition and you're able to handle it properly. So the situation which is manageable, which can help us. Now controllable, which is the second factor. So it basically says that whether one has mastery or control over situation or not. So these were the two factors of secondary appraisal. Now we are going to do two diagrams. First is psychological meaning of stress and a general model of the stress process. These two diagrams are very important. Actually, all the diagrams of psychologies are very important, but we'll cover these two diagram, and this is the meaning of stress. It basically includes the psychological meaning of stress. So what causes external or internal stressors? So it's talking about external or internal stressors, and what internal state is all about. Biological and psychological reaction leading to less stress experience, coping, and defense. It basically saying that biological or psychological experience can give us stress. Result, stress reaction. Obviously, if stress is given, this is the event which is giving us stress. This is the event which is giving us stress. Then the result will be reaction, right? The challenge can be like you can overcome, or else that stress can affect your health. So this was all about meeting of stress. Now we are going to know. Now this is the second diagram, which is talking about a general model of stress process. So it includes whole process of stress. So what is stressors? We know what stressors are. It is basically the event which gives us stress. And strain is not mentioned here, but strain is basically the reaction we give to external stressors. That is basically strain. Now stressors are the types. There are three types of stressors. First is environmental is basically environmental change. And psychological, as we all know, psychological talks about our mental health, mental problem. If there is no mental peace, then also we can give, we can be stressed. Or social is like because of society expectation, because of society pressure. Now dimensions, there are four dimensions. Intensity, so valuable, like duration, time, talking about time. Complexity is basically easy or difficult, right? And predictable, the word predictable means expectation. So it can, the stress can be expected, or it can be unexpected as well. Like it can be predictable and unpredictable as well. Now personal characteristics. Not a personal characteristics. Psychological basic, so sorry, first is physiological includes physical health. We all know what physical health is. Physical health is basically includes your fitness. Constitutional and vulnerability. Constitutional and vulnerability both are same term. Okay, we know what vulnerability is. Now psychological basically includes mental health. We all know what psychology means, mental. Now temperament is basically your environment. We say prakriti. In Hindi we can explain, like if you know what prakriti is, that same word temperament mean. Self concept, we all know what self concept is. We have done in the last chapter, but yeah, self concept is your perception about yourself. Okay. Now cultural is basically talking about cultural definition and meaning, expected response style. So if you are like Hindu, then your response to the reaction can be different. If you're a Muslim, then the response of a particular reaction, or stress of a particular stressor can be different. So sometimes culture really plays an important role. Now resources can be physical include money, medical care, etc. So according to psychology, money is also important, and medical care is also important. They can also be the need. Personal includes skill and coping style. Obviously you should have the ability to cope, or else stress will not, you know stress will always be there. It will affect your health. Now social support network, professional help. Now support network can be your parents, can be your peers, can be your friends, and professional help can be counselors, psychologists basically. Now stress appraisals, these are few kinds of stress appraisals. First is physiological stress, then biological stress, emotional response, and cognitive response. So these are the four responses which the stress appraisals give. We are going in the next video, we are going to describe, we are going to know in details of these, of the types of stresses. So this was all about in part 1. Thank you for watching. Till the next video, keep learning. Thank you.